Hello. This screencast is going to help us navigate the 8th Habit from Effectiveness to Greatness book study. This book study is going to be housed entirely here in Canvas, and that all starts here at the North Carolina Virtual Public Schools Collaboration Community. If you'll start by clicking on the Professional Learning button, you'll be taken to the PL page. On the PL page, you'll find buttons for all of the book studies. For this screencast, we'll be clicking on the 8th Habit. When you click on the 8th habit, you'll be taken to an index. That index is broken into 5 parts. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but for now, please click on part 1. When you click on part 1, you'll see the modules. The modules are broken from the 8th habit index down to the 8th habit engage, solution, discover, and expressing your voice. This is module 1 or part 1. We'll be dealing with modules 2 through 5 later on. For now, though, let's take a moment to take a look at the calendar. If you click on the calendar page, there will be a link that goes out to the calendar. On this calendar, you'll see that the 5 sections or parts of this book study are broken down by date and chapter. There will also be some topics, some themes, and Canvas book study pages that you will be responsible for. These dates align with our regular staff meetings starting in July. So on July 20th, you will be responsible to read chapters 1 through 3 and be prepared to discuss at the meeting the themes and topics that those chapters cover. You'll also be responsible for the activities and discussion pages that are included in the module. Now back at the module page. Once you've taken a look at the calendar, you could click Next, and that's going to take you to the very next page in this section. This particular page is the Essential Questions page. You'll take a look at the essential questions, and once you've done that, you would click Next. This is how you'll navigate each of the pages in this first section. Some of the pages, as you can see, are discussions. Some of the pages will have learning objects that you can listen to. But ultimately, the purpose of this module is to get you to engage and discuss and really talk about what Stephen Covey is talking about in the book, The 8th Habit from Effectiveness to Greatness. In the first section, when you complete this last discussion, that is the end of Module 1. That'll end your responsibility with this first module and will lead us to the discussions that'll take place in the staff meeting in July. After that July staff meeting, I will publish the next module. There'll be more pages in 3, I can promise you. I have not imported them yet because I don't want people to get ahead. I feel that it's important that we kind of stay in the same place so that we can dive in and really think about what's going on in each section of this book before, as a group, we move to the next section. And that leads me to the last thing that I'd like to talk about in this screencast. As you take a look at this calendar, you would see that we would actually finish up this book study in November. But that makes the last section 4 chapters long, longer than any other section. This was done on purpose because November seems to be a slower time as far as hot ops and things like that go for each one of the shops. However, if you would prefer to move this to the middle of December, we can always break that in half. Now, there's also one other thing to think about. There's a commonly asked questions section of this book that we could also do in November and add it to what we're doing there. Or we could extend this out into December for that as well. I'd like you to think about that, and that's something that we're going to talk about in our first July meeting, and we'll make adjustments to the calendar as needed. Thank you for taking a few minutes watching this screencast. I hope it helps you navigate both the physical expectations of this book study, getting through the modules and getting to the modules, but I also hope it helps you navigate the expectations of reading the book, the assigned readings, and what those conversations might look like in every regular staff meeting from now until November. Thanks again. I really look forward to connecting, collaborating, and learning with you through this book. I have greatly enjoyed the book studies in the past, and I think this one will be no different. Thank you, and have a fantastic day.